What do I think of Nike City Edition jerseys? They are all so bad. Okay, that's not true. Some of them are solid. Like Toronto's definitely has the potential to be cool. Utah's, but like by and large, most of them are really, really bad. Some of them are just like last year's City Edition jerseys, but in white. Like it's just, it's a like, you know what's funny is that last year, one of the first videos I posted on this channel was talking about the City Edition jersey problem that both the NBA and Nike have. And a year later, it's kind of deflating that nothing's changed. And there's a couple of main problems with this. One is just that like the jerseys aren't good, right? Most of them are not good. But I think the bigger problem that Nike and the NBA are having is that, and sort of like in their defense, which is that, you know, coming up with a new jersey idea every year is difficult. That sounds really difficult. I know these are supposed to be the best of the best and the jersey designers and they're elite and all that stuff, but like at a certain point, there's only so much orange juice you could squeeze out of the orange. And you're kind of seeing that with these jerseys. But I think the bigger problem with, you know, the City Edition jersey concept is that changing jerseys every single year, creating jerseys every single year. I remember when I first heard about that, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like the idea that we're going to get something new, something fresh every single year. But obviously when the quality isn't as good as it should be, then you're not so excited about it. But I think the thing that I sort of underestimated about changing jerseys every year is that, you know, the idea of brand association, it really takes a hit with this like constantly changing jerseys. And what I mean by brand association is that think about your favorite era of either your favorite team or just like a different team. Perfect example, right? Let's take the late 90s, early 2000s Toronto Raptors. Iconic era, not just because of Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady and all that they did to like make Toronto basketball relevant, but part of what made that era special was those iconic purple jerseys with the dinosaur. Like that's part of the memory, right? Or you think of the 90s Suns, right? With the purple jerseys and the orange, you know, Sun basketball like going across the chest. Like the jerseys are what helped make, you know, that era special. Like when you look back on that time, you think of the jersey and that's part of, you know, your memory for it. So now we're in this era where teams are constantly switching jerseys. And so like that feeling of connecting that jersey to a team or to a certain era it's gone or it's being erased. Like I remember, you know, the most recent one I could think of was, remember the Suns, like the Valley Suns had like those black ones, whereas like the colors across the chest, and like those are really cool. And I think that would have been such a good jersey to remember this era, like the Devin Booker era by, but then they got rid of them so quickly. And it's such a shame because we're gonna look back on this era, and whether it's like, you know, the Jokic Nuggets or Giannis and the Bucks and Luka and the Mavs, like yes, obviously they're going to have their standard home jerseys and their standard away jerseys, which by the way is also a problem because I hate that the road teams wear white. It's probably my biggest pet peeve, or one of them. But it's so sad that, like, you know, 10 years from now we're going to look back on this era and like it's just not like the jerseys you're going to picture them in. Like it's just going to be a jumbled mess of these ugly like AAU, like the random ones you could find on those random sites. Like that's going to be our lasting image. And what does that really matter when the basketball is still really good and the plays and the moments are still really memorable? I don't know, maybe not as much as it could. Like I might be overreacting, but I don't know. I just think like the jersey argument, I think it's one of those ones that we didn't realize how important it was to the overall fabric of NBA history until now, where it's been taken away from us. And now it's just like you see these teams wearing these weird jerseys and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel memorable. Like how are we supposed to remember these teams now? Like what jerseys are we supposed to remember them in? And like I think that matters more than we realized. And so Nike's contract, I believe, ends soon, and like I hope something changes, because it's created this weird era of basketball that I know, like complaining about the jerseys in terms of compared to like the overall quality of the basketball, like isn't that the most important thing? But no, I do think the jerseys matter, and like the continuity of it all matters, and being able to associate a team or a specific time in your franchise's, you know, tenure with a specific jersey. I think that matters. I think that's important. Like, you know, the 90s Raptors, or, you know, the 90s Suns, like having those memorable jerseys, the Pacers too, like that stuff matters. And I miss it. And like also like stuff like, you know, Christmas Day jerseys, like that was always so special with Adidas, and I think that really made the day feel more festive, and Nike doesn't do that either. And I think there's some serious irony in Nike making all these jerseys and not being able to make a Christmas Day jersey. So I hope it changes, whether it's with Nike or with someone else, because it really is, again, it's not the overall product. Like the product is what happens in between lines, regardless of what these guys are wearing. but it definitely matters, and I think it definitely is having a negative effect on how we watch and how we enjoy and how we look back on this era of basketball.